Hi everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and I have another project in my holiday series, and this is a little gift or treat bag, and I love this Wonderland stamp set. This is one of my favorite this year, and this is my other favorite, Cozy Christmas. I love that because it's really retro, and you've seen me use that before. But this is the little bag that I'm sharing. I did emboss these trees on here, and I stamped some little snow, so it's stamped on both sides. You don't have to stamp it on both sides if you don't want, but I thought, you know, it would be really cute to have both sides stamped. But I don't know if you can see the glitter, but I used some Dazzling Diamonds on it. I'm not sure if you can see it in here, but it looks so pretty. But anyway, this is what I'm sharing today, so let's get started with it. And what we're going to do is you're going to need a piece of 10.5 by 7-inch crumb cake. This is like our craft paper, but I love this because it doesn't have that orangey kind of craft color look. So this is crumb cake, and let's go ahead and score this. So on the 10.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And then we are going to score it at 2, at 5.5, and at 7. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to score it at 1.5. So that's it for our scoring. Now we're ready to stamp. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab my Versamark and my stamp set, and here is the stamp set. It's called Wonderland, and I love that. I've used this before in these little snowflakes. It's just so pretty, and you've seen me make a card with this, so I really am using it a lot. So we're going to get our trees out and Versamark that, and these are pretty big trees, so make sure it's covered, and we're going to stamp it twice. I'm going to make sure they're straight. And then we're going to do this 4 times because we're going to do it twice on each of the larger sections. It really has a really pretty impact when they're embossed. You can use craft Stampin'Up Whisper White craft ink, but I really love the embossing on it. It really makes it elegant, and it doesn't really take that long. Once you have your heat gun really hot, it goes pretty quick. Okay, so we have those, and let me grab my white embossing powder, and it's the Stampin' Up! White Emboss, and I usually keep them in a little container like this so I don't make a big mess. And I forgot to use my little embossing buddy, so hopefully I do that every time. I use it when I'm not on camera. Every time I get on camera, I forget to use it. I don't know why, but anyway, don't forget to use your little embossing buddy or whatever you use to keep the static down on your, so it doesn't go where you don't want it to go. Okay, so let's scoot that over. I put a little clip on there and it'll hold my little spoon there, so every one of my things has a separate spoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and emboss that, and I'm going to emboss, but I'll go ahead and speed up the video so you don't have to sit and watch. Okay, so now we have our trees embossed, and they look so beautiful. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm using these little snowflakes from this Jingle All the Way, and they're just little snowflakes that are coming down. And I'm going to use some craft cardstock. I mean, not cardstock. Some of the craft ink. And we are going to stamp the snowflakes. And I'm really going to try to concentrate at a little bit more at the top to make them a little bit thicker. I just like the way it looked. So all of this you have to do before you put your box together. And I can go right over my trees now because they are embossed. So just randomly stamp your snowflakes. And you don't even have to keep re-inking it if you like the lighter, because I like the variation of the light and some of the darker. Okay, so we got that. And if you got it where you like it, I'm going to grab our triple punch here, and there's that little slit, and I'm going to put the little slit in there. I'm actually going to try to make it a little bit wider, and I'm just going to scoot it over a hair because my ribbon is going to be wider. Hopefully I'm getting that in the center. So it'll be a little bit wider. And last time I had a little bit of a void of like where I missed it, and I just took my scissors and trimmed that. So we have that. Now we're ready to put the box together. And let me grab my little scissors. Where did I put them? Okay, we're going to cut off this little tiny corner over here. So we don't need that there. And then we're going to cut each one of these bottom flaps up. And I'm going to sharpen the score marks so we have a pretty box. And do use tear and tape on these, or a strong double-sided adhesive, because you want this to stay together. And then we're ready to pick whatever side you like the best. Go ahead and use for your front. And I'm going to use some fast fuse. I think that's the side I'm going to use. And seal up your bottom, and then you can pinch these two sides together. And I'm going to grab some of our striped grosgrain ribbon here, cherry cobbler. And I'll grab my ribbon scissors. some of our linen thread. And the easiest way I find when I don't have anything to hold on to is just to tie your circle first and then loop it around your ribbon here. And then you can just pull it tight. And I'm not going to tie it yet because I want to stamp my sentiment, which I already did. And the sentiment is from this Cozy Christmas. It's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I went ahead and embossed that while I was embossing earlier. So I embossed it with the red, and I'm going to cut a little hole in here to string my and then I'm going to tie a bow with this. Trim these down. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of our wooden elements. These are snowflake elements, and I'm going to put one of the snowflakes on here using some, I'm just going to use some glue dots because it seems to hold them pretty well. And we're going to put it right in the center of our linen thread ribbon here. So there you have it. Isn't that cute? I love this. And one other thing is I'm going to show you on here what I did. On this one, I added some Dazzling Diamonds. This one I didn't, but you can add it at any time. I just used my two-way glue. Okay, so you just use your two-way glue and you can just go around over the branches like that. And then I'll grab some of my Dazzling Diamonds. I love Dazzling Diamonds. They're so beautiful. And it looks like snow. And there it is. So I hope you enjoyed it today. If you need any supplies for this project, you can go to my blog at stampingwithamore.com and you can shop right from my blog. You're going to want to have this tree stamp from Wonderland. It's gorgeous. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed day, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye.